Welcome to the Lakefront News. I am Brian Bernal. Are you looking for something to do on campus? Reporter Gabriel Torres has a play you have to see.
Professor Antoinette Winstead, Mass Communication and Drama Head, will be directing Fat Pig by playwright Neil LeBoux. Student Lauren Permisio shares her excitement.
It's a super fun play, and I wish I could have been part of it, but unfortunately I'm just a little bit too crowded in my schedule, but I'm really excited for it to come out.
Winstead says what the play is about.
And it's about a man who falls in love with a woman who's overweight, and he battles peer pressure. Is he going to stay with her, or is he going to give in to his friends and their desire to see him with somebody else?
Fat Pig has been in Winstead's mind for a long time and wanted to get the play on stage.
I've been trying to put this on for the last 5 years. So this is the farthest we've ever gotten, and I'm just really excited.
Fat Pig will star 2 students from OLU and 1 actor outside of campus.
I have 2 students from OLU, and then I have 1 student from MSU who's taking a break for a semester, and he's down here, and he's starring as the lead.
It will also cost $3 for OLU community to attend and $8 for general admission. But the money will be going towards future plays and also back to the community.
Money that we collect, we use for our Thanksgiving food drive for Mario Hill Elementary School, and we try to feed at least 30 families a year through the Thanksgiving food drive.
On October 26th, when Fat Pig would make its debut here on OLU campus on 24th Street Theater, Professor Winstead tells us what's in store after the first premiere.
Very important, after each show, we're going to have a panel discussion where people can ask questions, and we'll discuss body shaming in our society.
It premieres October 26th, 27th, and 28th, and November 3rd and 4th. This has been Gabriel Torres reporting for Lakefront News.
Attention students, do you like scary movies? Then don't miss out on the Saints Productions Board's first annual Thriller Thursday. Reporter Lauren De Leon has more on the event.
With Halloween just around the corner, the Saints Productions Board obtained a movie license and organized an event that allows students to unwind while watching a free movie. We spoke to student Anthony Cortez about the reason why he's attending the event.
I feel like this can help students shake off the stress and let their stress be scared away.
Saints Productions Board member Erica Carbajal Ramos shares the event's history.
Well, it's a fairly new event that we have created here on campus. We hope to make it a traditional event.
Ramos provided us with the location and time.
So our first Thriller Thursday for this semester, or for this year, is going to be this Thursday, October 18th, in the LCR at 7 p.m.
The Saints Production Board says that this event is so cheap, it's spooky. Ramos says this event is open to all.
This event is open for all OLU students or anybody on campus, basically, to come out and see the movie.
Ramos tells us which movie they will be airing.
So we'll be showing It. We recently got licensed to show that movie on campus.
Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Lauren De Leon.
Our Lady of the Lake University has more than 50 organizations on campus. Reporter Erica Guevara explains why fundraising is vital to our organization.
Ashley Castanedo, a student who's fundraised for an organization, explains why fundraising is important.
So organizations are given a certain amount of budget, and so whenever you fundraise, it's to make it bigger, to buy more things for our organization to expand it.
Student organizations here at Our Lady of the Lake are able to fundraise to purchase items or host events for their organization. Scarlett Alonso, coordinator of the Student Leadership and Development Office, tells us why they encourage organizations to fundraise.
So student fundraising, we encourage a lot of our student organizations, students in general, even staff, departments, athletes to fundraise because a lot of our students have different projects they need funding for, or they raise money for philanthropy.
Members of organizations are able to fundraise by going through a quick process.
So the process is super easy. We have a form here in the SLD office that we ask all of our individuals, students, athletes, staff, departments to fill out, just so we make sure that when we receive that form, no fundraisers clash with anybody, so we don't want people competing for the same audience.
If your organization would like to do a fundraiser, just come to the Student Leadership and Development Office in Warden 25 and fill out a fundraising form.
And anyone can start an organization as long as they have 5 members.
So who's able to fundraise is, of course, student organizations, whether it's a CSO, which is a chartered student organization, or an RSO, which is a recognized student organization, departments, staff, any non-student organizations, because they are still students, and we want to make sure that any clubs they are in that are either under a department, they still have the ability to fundraise.
Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Erica Guevara.
Are you one to need a morning cup of joe? Our Lady of the Lake students have the luxury of an on-campus Starbucks. Reporter Santiago Reyes tells us how much coffee students here really drink.
I'm here at the Sister Annie B's cafeteria, where students come get their daily gabacho.
Long study hours, early classes. Do students drink too much coffee? Student sophomore Abril Perez believes coffee addiction is a real thing in college students.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I do. That's why I limit myself. Yeah.
Perez even has her go-to drink.
The white chocolate mocha. Yeah. It has a sweet taste to it. It's very sweet. So.
At least 80% of adult Americans drink coffee every day.
Olu barista Nathan Rodriguez makes students their cup of coffee.
Concentrates you, it brings you up, it starts your day. It's a great way.
Rodriguez says he himself drinks coffee regularly.
I love it. I love making it, I love drinking it, I love the feeling, the energy, the taste. It's awesome.
Gutierrez says that the most asked for drink is a caramel macchiato. Reporting for the Lakefront News, this is Santiago Reyes.
Are you wondering what's the most popular Halloween costumes? I went to Spirit Halloween store to find out. Most people want the popular Halloween costume. We went to Spirit Halloween store to find out the most popular costume this year. Spirit Halloween store employee Brian Vasquez tells us what costumes are trending. Vasquez says the most popular costume is Fortnite.
Anything Fortnite.
Vasquez says that Fortnite costumes have been popular since the store opened.
As long as Spirit came on this season, Fortnite was the popular thing.
Behind me is the most popular costume theme at the store right now, which is Fortnite. Vasquez says that the popular costumes of last year is Walking Dead and Halo.
It used to be Walking Dead and Halo, and now it's just nothing but Fortnite.
The most demanded costume is the Stormtrooper.
The most demanding one right now would be the Skull Trooper, and our company had to stop putting it online, so it's completely out.
Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Brian Bernal. Have you ever heard about the Center for Women in Church and Society organizations on our campus? Reporter Karina Martinez covers how they'll help you.
Founded in 1892 by the Congregation of Divine Providence, the Center for Women helped tell the neglected stories and contributions of women in our history. Assistant Program Coordinator of the Center for Women, Gianna Rendon, tells us why this is important to the Lake.
Center for Women in Church and Society for the school allows women and people in general be all of themselves. And so we're not just one thing or the other. You can be a spiritual person, you can be a political person.
Located in the Elliott House, the Center for Women seeks to empower both women and men on the Olu campus. Jacqueline Walter, Director of Center for Women in Church and Society, tells us how.
What we do is we bring in women speakers who can inspire our students.
Walter and the Center for Women try to create an environment in which students can thrive mentally, physically, and spiritually.
There are 3 components to our mission: leadership, spiritual growth, and to be agents of change.
Walter lets us know how you can get involved.
Actually, this week we're working with DXN this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so we're collaborating on an event, The Haunted Truth, and so we welcome students if they have a vision or want to partner with us.
For Lakefront News, I'm Karina Martinez.
If you ever needed a place on campus that is open all day, every day, then the 24-hour lab is the place for you. Reporter Daniel Bomber has more.
Located on the first floor of the Sultan Fuss Library, the 24-hour lab is open to everyone at all time. All you need to access it is your student ID after hours. Student Melody Villarreal tells us her perspective on the lab.
Main building closes, and so I use the 24-hour lab.
The lab includes 18 computers. 14 are PCs and 4 are Macs. There are also 2 printers, one of which is only one of 2 color printers on campus.
It's been very helpful, especially if you live on campus. It's always there for your access. There's also color printing there too.
Although across campus, the 24-hour lab is convenient for any student trying to get any last-minute work done.
If you don't use it, I think you should use it, because a lot of people are like, what's that? Where's the 24-hour lab? It's like, oh, it's just by the library. So if you don't have access to a computer or anything, or you need a color printer, or you just need to focus and stop procrastinating, then the 24-hour is pretty good.
The lab is a fresh change of scenery for students who are trying to study or do work. The only time you will find a 24-hour lab packed is during finals. Librarian Steve Weiss says the 24-hour lab is available to all.
The computer labs, and especially the 24-hour lab downstairs, is available to them.
Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Daniel Bomber.
Stay with us and we will have your sports news after the break.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. Now in men's soccer. On Thursday, they hosted the University of the Southwest. They lost with the score of 3-0. On Saturday, they hosted Paul Quinn College. They won the match with a 5-0 win. The Saints will complete their last 2 home games this week. On October 18th, they host University of St. Thomas, and on October 20th, they face the University of Houston. Now in women's soccer. The women's soccer team remained undefeated. Dawn Brinkley set a season goal. The Saints win 4-0 over the University of Southwest. The Saints will play their last home games this week on October 18th. They play the University of St. Thomas. Then on October 20th, they face the University of Houston. Stay with us to find out the cold weather coming this week.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
The weekend started out with a rainy cold front and will remain the same throughout the whole weekend. Stay tuned for the Sister of the Week. Now let's take a look at our Sister of the Week.
Sister Agnes Mary Clark, Sister Divine Providence, since 1962 is when I entered. My aunt, Sister Angelita, is my mother's sister, and from little on, I thought she was just the most beautiful and loving person, had all these adventures teaching and going to school, so I wanted to be like her since I was a little girl. Of course, then I went to MacArthur and discovered boys, and I wasn't so sure, but she was wise. She said, well, just keep praying over it. And my senior year, I found out I couldn't go to college because I grew up on a small dairy farm, and we could never afford it. So Sister Angelita said, well, come the first year, because the university we didn't own the university anymore, but then it was college. We had incorporated it, but we could go free. And so then we'll get you, if you don't want to stay, then we'll get you financial aid. So I thought, well, that sounds good. But of course you knew I would be hooked. After our first year, then we entered the novitiate. That's where we dressed as brides and got another name. I was given the name Angela Clare. And then we had a chance to go after Vatican Council in '67 to go back to our baptism names. And we have more and more realized that we were not to get another name. These were more the nuns that were those who make psalm vows. And that's one reason in my first 2 years at Alexandria, I did almost leave because I told my aunt, I can't be with the people enough. You know, we have to be there for prayer. We had to be like habit on. And so she said, well, try another place because that's kind of a conservative. And so I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we changed from we did have a veil and certain restrictions, but I always made my own clothes, so it was easy to. But I had a little boy that I had taught the brother, came to me the second year I was in Alexandria and said, now last year you were Sister Angela Claire. Yes. And this year you're Sister Agnes Mary. Yes. Who are you going to be next year? It was a bright little first grader. Now I'm not on campus. I live across town with another sister. I was from 93 to 80 at St. Martin Hall as the primary kinder, first, second, third teacher, and so I made advantage we could still go to school for a year to finish a master's in education, and I felt the Lord say, because I took one marriage and family, that's what I want you to do the rest of your life, because you can help people more. So I got my degree in marriage and family therapy in 80, and I've been various places. Right now I'm in private practice with another therapist at St. Mary's Street. Oh, I just feel so blessed by God. I would never have thought. I was a little German farm girl, very shy, had a heavy German accent, lot and that. I went to the Herod Joseph Speech and Hearing Clinic for a long time, and it turned out it wasn't just the German. I do not hear sounds well. I tried to learn Spanish over and over, but I thought, well, I'm saying it this way, this program, and I just started all over. So, but I'm just so proud of all the different places, the different people I've met. And when my sister was very ill and died, my parents' illness and death, I was able to also minister to them. It was part of my ministry. In the past, they weren't allowed to do that as very much. That was too much what we call, that's why I almost left, because we were trying to live what we call the nuns in a cloistered and true apostolic work, and it just didn't work. And now we're able to much more, and with consultation, make our own choices of where we want to do and how we feel to minister best within our constitution and our goals that we have each year. Every 6 years we elect new leadership and we set up new goals. This past year, it was actually a year ago, we elect every 6 years new leadership and set a new mission statement. And with this one of our young people, one of our young sisters did this. And what it is the world as the heart. And this is the Holy Spirit, that holding the hands of it, and the fire of love coming out in the crown of thorns. And it's in Spanish and English. We take it apart. We're just doing the first part, to be the incarnation of God's love. And that's also then our mission statement, that I am called to do the marriage and family therapy here. But if I could just read that first part, it's very inspiring. It's really our mission. With boundless confidence in God's providence, we sisters of divine providence embrace the mission of Jesus to be the incarnation of God's love in the world. Providence draws us to seek creative ways of opening our arms to the suffering and joys in all creation. So believing in the power of providence to bring all things to good, we commit ourselves to hear the cry of pain and anguish of the poor, immigrants, women, and earth. We put it down more specifically. To be present to neighbor, to all in need. To act with courage and to collaborate with others to heal what is broken and to celebrate what is good. In the spirit of the crucified Jesus, we pray that our provident God strengthen us to witness to the love, joy, and new life of the resurrection. Well, I love arts and crafts and sewing, and I garden. I xeriscape the whole front and backyard. But I don't have so much for the arts and crafts, but I love reading. Well, right now, I only have time to read the Time magazine and The Nation and the newspaper, but I'm waiting for retirement. I watched last night Channel 9's The Great Book Read, and I've got a list of things I'm going to read when I retire. Well, feel so blessed to have been being a Sister Divine Providence, because it has opened so many avenues of friendship, of love and service. When my only sister died, I thought, oh, she was 6 years younger, we were just getting to be real sisters. And I felt the Lord saying, it's all right, I'll give you many more sisters. And that has been true, both inside the congregation and outside in my ministry. I'm also a supervisor for play therapy. It's a new thing that little children can't talk out their problems, but they can play them out. And there are only 17 in San Antonio, and the last number of years has been kind of busy because children that have been in the foster system or have been adopted usually have quite severe problems. Those first 6 years are so important, and so they need someone who really is trained in it. We have special to help them. They can't talk out, but they can play out their problems.
Thank you for joining us for Lakefront News. I'm Brian Bernal.